Now, just a day after Sachin's book excerpt slamming Greg Chappell came out, the Australian has hit back at the Master Blaster, saying he never intended to remove Rahul Dravid in favour of Sachin Tendulkar. Now, Chappell responded saying he is shocked to hear the Indian batsman's claim. The former Australian captain says that he only visited Sachin's house once, and that was to check on his rehabilitation following an injury. Chappell insists that the talk of captaincy never came up during his time at his house. Now, on the other hand, Sachin has claimed in his autobiography that Greg Chappell visited Sachin at his house and suggested that he should take over captaincy from Rahul Dravid. Greg went on to say that if Sachin accepted the captaincy offer, they both could rule Indian cricket for years. Well, the very latest being reported by my colleague Shivani on this counter-claim made by former Indian cricket coach Greg Chappell. Shivani, can you take us through with what Greg Chappell has said in connection to what Sachin Tendulkar has stated in his yet-to-be-released autobiography?
Well, it's not surprising, Preeti, that Greg Chappell, the former Indian coach, has come out and actually refuted the charges that Sachin Tendulkar has made in his upcoming book. Greg says that he did go to meet Sachin at his house at the time period that he's talking about. In fact, he says he only went to his house. But the talk of captaincy, the issue of captaincy never came up. Now, Sachin claims in his book that Greg came to his house and in front of his wife, Anjali, he actually offered him the captaincy, saying that if he becomes the captain, then together they could rule Indian cricket for years. Sachin Tendulkar described this as extremely shocking, that the coach was doing this just months before the 2007 World Cup, thinking of displacing the captain, the current captain Rahul Dravid. And he said that it was clear that Greg Chappell had little respect for Rahul Dravid because he was doing this. Now, Greg Chappell has spoken out in the media and he said that I never offered him captaincy, though there's a direct war now between Sachin and Greg Chappell. Of course, this happened behind closed doors. We spoke to Saurav Ganguly yesterday. He said he has no idea. Rahul Dravid has come out and said that he has no idea about any such meeting, of course, because this was a private meeting. So it kind of becomes Sachin Tendulkar's words versus Greg Chappell's words. And as far as Indian fans is concerned, Preeti, you can understand whose words they will be willing to believe more, because Greg Chappell has been under attack from several players during that era. Many in that team at that time, from the likes of Harbhajan Singh to Saurav, and Sachin have come out and slammed him for his so-called divide and rule policy that he employed allegedly. So Greg Chappell, for his part, not surprisingly, is saying that he never offered the captaincy to Sachin Tendulkar. But I think this is not the last that we're going to hear either from him or from Indian players, former and current, on just how Greg Chappell, behaved with the senior members, because Sachin claims in his book that he was hell-bent on, ousting all senior players, all older players, get a new team going, and that kind of disrupted the harmony of the team.
And that is something which has not been denied by Greg Chappell, Shivani, has it? Because he's only contended Sachin Tendulkar on the captaincy claim.
Well, he hasn't really come out and denied that in as many words. And of course, even at that time, I think it was quite clear when he took over the reins that he was keen to reshape the team. He was keen to get new blood in. And of course, on the face of it, you cannot fault him for that. But I think it's the way he went about, because there's this instance in Sachin's book where he talks about how Greg Chappell almost threatened VVS Lakshman, a senior player of the stature of VVS Lakshman, saying that if you get out of the team now, making a comeback at the age of 32 will not be easy. So that perhaps did not go down well. But there are youngsters from that era, including Harbhajan Singh and Yuvraj Singh, who did not like what Greg Chappell employed, the tactics that he employed. But on the face of it, yes, changing a few players, getting in more young players is not a bad thing. But perhaps the way he went about creating an atmosphere of fear amongst the seniors, that disrupted the harmony of the team.
All right, appreciate you joining us. My colleague Shivani getting us the very latest coming in from Greg Chappell, taking on Sachin Tendulkar's claims made in his much-awaited autobiography, where he said that Greg Chappell asked him to take over captaincy from Rahul Dravid. Appreciate Shivani for